Does it have something to do with the sound? Whatever's in the woods?
Is Wendell gonna have to do this? Is there even anything to do? Come on.
As long as I'm here, things will get worse. People will die. I can't stop it.
And you didn't want any of this. Who are you?
Same as you. A victim. It makes sense that you don't remember. Think about what you went through in that cage.
Oh, he might remember about being in a cage.
Your memories will come back too.
If my mom had stayed in Castle Rock with my dad, in your world, I mean, what would have happened?
You would have killed her. You knew all about Alan and Mom. She told me after we left. Romans 6:23. The wages of sin is
Death.
Move the back of the cell. Both of you.
What's happening? What the fuck?
Bring him in.
Who's bitch are you now, huh?
You've got no idea who you're fucking with. Neither right, in fairness.
Again? Fucking
Here we go.
I'll pay up and you suck my fucking
Right now. Shit. Could somebody get a medic?
That was a Satan ex machina. We're going to the forest. Come on.
Come on.
Is she dead? They shot her. I'm not even sad. I'm not even sad.
Don't go out there.
Willie!
Storm.
You did this.
Fuck.
Get up.
Is the town going mental? I can hear like. Oh my god, it's needful things all over again.
We're having fun now.
I don't want to hurt
Please
you,
don't
Henry.
be true.
Henry, I don't want to hurt you.
He's remembering. God, bloody birds just went flying past the window and I shut myself. There's the schisma, come on.
Henry, I don't want to hurt your
Fucking
son.
smart, though. He's gonna think you jumped. Give him a good kick, Henry. Save your mother. It burns! What? Oh my God.
Goodbye, Henry.
Oh my God, what the fuck was that? But I need to go back to that scene.
Truth doesn't change, it's just truth. Pure. But justice, that looks different depending on what side of that invisible line you're on. And Ron,
What do you... What?
Good.
All the chess pieces are there. And it's Christmas.
some folks get away. Spend the rest of their lives trying to forget this place.
To the needs of my clients, any real estate agent can throw listing after listing.
She's in Florida.
My goal. See you tomorrow, Grandma.
With your granny.
Maybe they do forget, for a while. Some never leave, no matter how hard they try.
Is that Ruth? That could be Ruth.
Most of us are trapped here for a reason. Everyone in this town has some sin or regret, some cage of his own making, and a story, a sad one, about how we got this way. It wasn't me, it was this place.
That's what Henry said.
That's what we say. But that's a story too. It doesn't change a thing. Maybe something turned you into a monster, or maybe you were one all along.
Did he lock him up
Doesn't
again?
matter. You're here now. Christmas present.
Shit.
It's Christmas.
Tomorrow.
After a while, you forget which side of the bars you're on. That's what Warden Lacey used to say. Look how things turned out for him.
I feel like his face is gonna change and I'm gonna jump out my fucking...
The axe felt right in my hand. Stopping the blade, I realized where that axe really belonged. Dead center of the good professor's head.
I don't get the title.
overlooked. Who's overlooked?
The Overlook.
Backstory. You know, ancient history. It's family history. I'm actually headed out west on a research trip next month. The best place to finish a book is where it started. I read that somewhere.
Anymore.
For something happened to me as I was driving home, and I'm not the same anymore. Oh, I was only 24 hours outside.
So, first thing I've got to get out of the way, otherwise I'm going to forget it, is Jackie Torrance, I'm assuming, is now going to go full Jack Torrance. So she's headed out to the hotel, which I think was called the Overlook Hotel. I've actually been to that hotel. I have relatives in Colorado, and we went to the Stanley Hotel, which it was based on. So there's that. So Jackie, I think that was supposed to be the point that Axe felt right in her hand. She wants to write a novel. What to do? She's going to go and write it there. Ruth just died. I'm actually quite sad about that. Molly did get away. She got to Florida. She's doing well in real estate. She's with her grandma, and she looked good. Very happy about that. So Henry Deaver is not doing death row cases anymore. He's like litigating plant pots and shit. And Wendell and him have got a really good relationship. I thought Ruth might be gone, or we were in a different timeline with the chess pieces all being back together. That was cool. I'm just trying to wrap up all the other things before we get to the main feast, because I'll forget them once I get talking on that. So the kid, did he just make all that up? Is it episode 9 mean nothing at all? It was just complete fabrication? That's slightly disappointing. I feel like I need more episodes. I genuinely feel like I need more episodes. I need to know all kinds of shit. But what we did find out is that Matthew Deaver was going to kill Ruth for cheating on him. That was his intention. He told Henry. Henry did kill his dad, or tried to, and Molly finished him off. But we don't know how, because they've not told us that bit of the story. We do not know where Henry was for the 11 days, unless I've missed something. If the alternative timeline isn't true, if the kid is not, could both be true? But that flash in the forest, when we saw the real face, I need to watch that back and have a look at it. I didn't recognise the face. I was too busy screaming. So it will help me to look at that. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. Okay. No, I still don't recognise the face. Didn't have any horns. So we don't know who Odin Branch is. We don't know who killed him. We don't know who the kid is. But we know that he's bad. I feel like they confirmed in this episode that the kid is bad. I'm definitely going to have to do another review of this when I've watched it again. Because I just have so many questions. I'm literally struggling to form an opinion because I can't even tell you what I just saw. I do not know what I just saw. What I feel like I just saw is that every theory that we had throughout the season wasn't true, and the very premise that we began with was. So Lacey's version of events in the first episode was true, but we still don't know who the kid is, unless that was a deep Stephen King reference that I do not understand, in which case tell me in the comments because I want to know. I feel like our Henry at the end, that little soliloquy monologue thing, if that's true, was saying all of this hocus pocus story, this was all bullshit. There's nothing wrong with the town. The town doesn't make you do anything unless you're already a monster. Matthew Deaver was already a monster. He was a man who was going to kill his wife, but at the same time, he's got the kid in the cage because he thinks the kid is a monster that can make people do bad things. And the kid looked very confident and smirky at the end, like he's just going to bide his time and he knows it's all going to go his way in the end. That bothers me. Oh my god, and the warden, when did the kid go off and put the little cutting in, and then why did she completely lose it? I can't remember her touching him. Maybe the touch is irrelevant. So we definitely had it confirmed that was not a flashback that the kids saw in the house with the family. Remember the birthday party thing? Because he basically did in the jail what he did in that house. He stares at people. He doesn't have to touch them. He stares at them and they go fucking mental. Blew the whole place up. It looked like stuff was even going on in the town beyond the jail. It really reminded me of Needful Things when everything, Leyland Gaunt has just got everything going at the end. Is he Leyland Gaunt? Was that the confirmation? I'm looking at his face. He's got the rotten teeth that Leyland Gaunt had when he was being the devil. If I'm understanding everything, and I don't think that I am, I feel like they've led us on a merry dance, is what I think, and thrown up so much chuff and flack to lead us off the scent, and actually the kid was bad all along. Yeah, he's grinning his tits off at the end. I can't even look at it, it's scaring me. Go away. What did I just see? And what was the schisma then? We never got to see Henry's memories. But we do know. But we know that we have corroborated at least some of what the kid's story was about being a Henry Deaver, because our Henry Deaver saw it when he was in the filter. I need to watch me some review programs immediately. Immediately! And I might have to do a follow-up review. You might even get to have it tacked on to this review when I understand what's going on and I can actually speak articulately, because right now I'm literally thinking out loud. I have no opinion. Okay, hello, it's tomorrow. I needed some time to let the finale sink in, because actually how I felt afterwards was deeply disappointed. Really disappointed. From the moment I think it jumped to 1 year later, I was like, uh-oh, I think they might have really shot the bed here. But I didn't want to say that or kind of commit to that feeling without really properly thinking through what had happened in the episode, what had happened across the season, having a look at some other reviews, because, you know, the feeling I had was that I must have missed something. I must have missed something really important. Because surely they couldn't have left this many loose ends. But it appears that they have. It appears that they went for an ambiguous kind of ending. I think one of the best ways I saw it put was actually just a single tweet. They'd said, this is a show about human motivation and what you're willing to believe. And to some degree the evidence supports that, but I also think that is being really, really generous about the way the show wrapped up, and I'll explain concisely my points. And I don't, you know, this is only my view. I'm not even presenting this as fact, just my personal view, and I don't judge anyone else for having a different opinion. So if the comment section gets a bit busy, I'd like everyone to keep in mind that we do not have a definitive ending, so please no one go telling anyone else you don't understand, this is what it was. It's really clear this was an ambiguous ending. Everything about it is speculation, so I suggest we all be nice to each other and remember that we're speculating, we're all doing the same thing that Henry Deaver and Del Lacey and Alan Pangborn and Ruth Deaver do in the show, which is you've got a limited amount of evidence, some of it conflicts with each other, and you've just got to come up with a theory. And no one's theory is necessarily better or worse than anyone else's. I think if you stand in that point of view, then you don't find yourself getting animated with other people who might have a different opinion to you. So I think the first point I wanted to make was about loose ends and sort of extraneous stuff that was made to feel really significant. One thing was Jackie Torrance. You know, Jane Levy played a blinder. It was set up like she was a really significant character, and to be honest, she didn't really do much other than turn up with an axe at the right time with Henry, which anyone could have done. It didn't have to be Jackie that was there. I found that quite disappointing. If there is a spin-off series called Overlooked, where Jackie Torrance is writing that book in the Overlook Hotel, okay, great, you've set us up for the character. You know, maybe it's season 2 or if it's a spin-off show. If not, I'm disappointed. Second, Ruth Deaver. I'm pissed. I'm most disappointed about what to me felt like a really disrespectful way of closing the Ruth storyline. We saw her on the bridge. She had that incredible conversation with Molly where the loop was broken, or at least that's what we believe has happened. And she doesn't jump, so she goes back with Molly to hold a chess piece and think about Alan Pangborn. And that's it. And then she's dead. We don't even know how she died. Disappointed. She was such an incredible character. Episode 7 remains my favourite episode of the show, with episode 9 just underneath it, and I'll come to that again in a second. Was she a Time Walker? Wasn't she a Time Walker? Well, we don't know. We just don't know. A couple of other little things that just feel gratuitous given that they didn't later play into the plot. We had the kids in the animal masks, remember the court and all that stuff? Nothing. Never referenced again. Never played into the plot. Nothing. We also had Matthew Deaver's ghost that was haunting Molly, remember? And she also was like, they had that bandage people congregation. Gone. Nothing. Dropped. We also had the Molly's house being bashed up. Who smashed it to pieces? We don't know. And it's never referenced again, and it never feeds into the storyline. Now, perhaps most upsetting for most people, from what I'm picking up, was the kid. In episode 9, we went on an incredible journey with alternative Henry Deaver. And in the alternative timeline, we got to see who this guy was and why he could cure Ruth's Alzheimer's and all of that stuff. And it was solid, that episode. It was so good. And they gave us that throwaway line at the end from the kid. You know, do you believe me now? Which made all of us go, uh-oh. But I think he's missing an element. And what I thought was that because we never saw the other piece of Henry's vision in the filter, that version of him on the stairs in Henry's vision where he's going, no, was somehow going to be pivotal. But that vision was never completed. We never actually saw the scene. And we saw him turn into a demon at the end of the show, which is kind of quite a confirmation that he is a demon. I mean, that's not very ambiguous, unless you speculate. So you go, well, was it just what Henry saw? Well, no, because he did that creepy little grin in the prison cell at the end as well. So it's absolutely not ambiguous. Like, they are saying that the kid is a demon. The only ambiguity seems to be around how he got that way. And Henry's monologue at the end feels it's consistent with that theory, in that he's saying, you know, you might think you might have been born a monster, you might have been turned into a monster, but the bottom line is you're a monster now, and so you belong in a cage. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he says. So that's not very satisfying to me, and I'll explain why. Take a show like Westworld, which I love. I love Westworld. It's far more mind-bendy and complex in the storytelling than Castle Rock is. So I'm unwilling to go with people who say, if you didn't like the ending to Castle Rock, it's because you don't appreciate complex storytelling. That's really not the case. One of the problems, I think there's a difference between complex storytelling and trickery. And I feel like Castle Rock employed trickery. And by trickery, I mean something which feels like it actually invalidates the journey you've been on. Whereas complexity, it might throw you a complete curveball and make all of your beliefs, ideas and predictions about the show or a certain character get blown out of the water, but it doesn't invalidate them. And I felt with the way the show ended, it invalidated them. So if you take Westworld, there are going to be spoilers now for Westworld season 1. If you haven't seen it and you don't want to be spoiled, stop watching now. So Westworld season 1, all of these mysteries, but by the end of season 1, you find out, oh my god, William and the Man in Black are the same person. But that doesn't invalidate all of the journey you've been on with William. That all happened. That's all true. It actually enhances your view of both William and the Man in Black, because you now understand the Man in Black in a way that you didn't before. If Henry Deaver is the devil and he never went to the out timeline, that's invalidated that whole episode for me. If Ruth Deaver is not a time walker, or that was just, well, that's just invalidated episode 7, and they're my 2 favourite episodes. It doesn't give me a deeper understanding of those episodes. It doesn't add to my experience of those episodes. just means they've told me a beautiful story which was nonsense. And while that's a wonderful kind of theoretical exercise, it's kind of deeply unsatisfying viewing. I think the big mystery that remain, I mean, all of the mysteries remain, really, but, you know, the things I think that people will be mostly speculating on now is whether, not necessarily whether the kid is a monster, but what kind of monster he is and how he got that way. Which again is not the way that the show actually left us. You know, Henry was saying it doesn't matter what kind of monster he is, it doesn't matter how he got that way, he just is a monster, we're putting him in the basement. So actually we're doing work that the show is not setting up. So actually we're just continuing to ask these questions because they weren't addressed in the show. The show's telling us it really doesn't matter. So I think I can really understand why people, many people are so disappointed I am. And I speak as someone who actually loved the ending of Lost. There was a lot of people said, oh, it's J.J. Abrams, it's Lost all over again. I was immensely satisfied with the ending of Lost. It left me absolutely complete. So I'm not a person that needs every mystery answered. But I do need to feel like the characters have been respected. Their journey has been respected. And our viewership and time has been respected. And I think the finale was too clever by half. It was quite rushed. There were some fantastic scenes. Really fantastic scenes. Like the show all the way through, really. There were great standalone moments that I'll probably never forget. The reveal of the monster was absolutely terrifying. I screamed my head off. It was brilliant. So it wasn't like it was a terrible hour of no, it was a great hour of television. It made me jump, made me want to cry. I was engaged. There was a tension throughout it that I felt really palpably. All of that stuff remains true, and I will hold that along with my disappointment. But I think someone said a great thing about it, which was Castle Rock. The journey was fantastic. The destination, not so much. That would be my review boiled down. I loved the journey, but the destination, nah, not for me. So I'm definitely going to be watching and reacting to season 2. This has not put me off the show. Now, all of this is predicated on the idea that this story, because it's an anthology series, is now closed, and that's all we ever know about it. What could happen is these threads go into season 2, in which case I would be much happier knowing that they haven't just been thrown away. They haven't just thrown away Ruth Deaver. They haven't just thrown away everyone else that they threw away. But there's no sign of that at the moment. That would just be conjecture to think that that was going to happen. I'm really keen to find out some details about season 2. I've not done any Googling really of Castle Rock this season, precisely because I didn't want to be spoiled. But I'm really keen to know now what they've got up their sleeves. You know, who are the cast going to be? Where is it? Is it going to be still be in Castle Rock? I take it we're not going off to follow Jackie Torrance to the Overlook Hotel, although we could. What's it going to be about? What are any of the storylines, story threads, or characters from this season going to populate season 2? We don't know, but I would like to know. So, thank you very much for watching. And please share. I really want you to share your views in the comment section below, whether you loved it, you hated it, if you're somewhere in between the two like I am. Let me know your thoughts. Let's chat it out. And thank you for following me for this whole season. And I am really looking forward to season 2. Until the next time, bye bye.